the Etsy workshop is going to work like this. Today we're going to have 6 topics, and the first topic is going to be introduction to Etsy. Then we're going to talk about niche or no niche. We're going to go then and talk about how to open an Etsy store, setting up your store, logo and banner, and then how to get designs. In case you don't have designs, I'll give you some ideas on where you can get them. When it comes to Etsy, okay, so let's talk about Etsy. Etsy is the probably right now next to, of course, next to Amazon, is probably the biggest marketplace where you can sell print-on-demand products. Right now, Etsy is expanding to a way that probably print-on-demand products next to digital products are the 2 biggest product lines that Etsy right now is where they are actually making their money. When Etsy started, it was merely started so that people could sell their handmade products. The whole idea for Etsy was that small shops all around the United States could sell products in a way that they could reach more customers other than into the local areas. So Etsy really got a start on real shops that were doing like wood carving or screen printing or very unique products, are also selling antiques. It's the only product that you can actually sell on Etsy that is not made by you. It's antiques. It has this very unique belief that if you want to sell something on Etsy, it has to be handmade. Okay, now technically speaking, print-on-demand products were not handmade, and that's why for the longest time Etsy was not allowing print-on-demand products. They realized that having in the stores only allowing people that were creating 10, 20, 50 listings, and selling 1 or 2 products here and there was not going to get them anywhere. And so they started looking at the marketplace, and yes, they were very good on customization. A lot of people there were looking for customizing products, unique products, but they were lacking the volume of sales. So about 4 years ago, they came out with a wonderful idea that in order to sell print-on-demand products, well, the design process is actually done by hand. So, and it requires a human interaction to create the design. And that is the loophole they found inside of Etsy so that they can continue to be the handmade platform by allowing production partners into their marketplace. So they established the first integration with Printful, and then came out and to the public and said, hey, we are now admitting people to sell print-on-demand products. Mm-hmm. Everybody doing the same products, overly priced, and no quality products. That the designs were like like the typical ones that we were sending on Merch Blind. We're like, let's see what gets stuck at the table. They decided to allow it, but when they realized that it was a bunch of people just adding listings without they didn't really selling, is when they realized, okay, we are doing something wrong. We are allowing too many people to sell here, but we're only getting a bunch of money on listings. And honestly, they were not really spending that much money because they were 20 cents per listing. For 50 listings is $10, right? Now you have 100,000 of people. Yeah, it adds up, but it's not what they were looking for. They were looking for a better customer experience. They were looking for more sales because Etsy really makes their money when you make a sale, right? They charge the fees. They charge the bank processings. They charge, a lot of different deals that they have. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to grow as a marketplace. So Etsy realized that only attracting the royalty-based type of seller was not in their best interest because they wanted marketers. The marketers are the type of people that bring customers to them, right? But when they started talking to Shopify sellers, the Shopify sellers were like, you have absolutely nothing that we are attracted to, right? When we are selling on Shopify, we can get our own emails. We can do our own email marketing. We can send our own, emails to our customers. We can do our own Facebook ads. We can run our Google Analytics. We can see all the data that we need from a product that we have listed. And with your platform, we get nothing of that. All we'll be doing is wasting our efforts to send you some customers to maybe get some sales. And all we'll be doing is for you to get more customers that are going to return back to you. And that is what Etsy realized, that in order to get the marketers, they had to adjust and they had to offer something that no other marketplace in the past had ever offered. And that was to make the sellers their partners. By making it their partners, they decided to say, okay, my customer that you make is your customer as well. And that's why they started sharing with you their emails, their phone numbers, the phone numbers, their addresses, anything that was provided by the customer. It was for you to use to do your own marketing as well. And that is what began making more appealing to people that were interested in making sales to start joining Etsy. After that, they started saying, okay, people's like, okay, yeah, the email is not enough. We want to know if people are actually looking at our listings. We want to know if people are actually clicking on our listing. We want to be able to offer them, promotions like buy one, get one free or things like that. And Etsy is like, okay, yes, we can do that. They ran a system now that when you click in your listings, you know exactly how many people has clicked on it. You know how many people has purchased it. You know how many people have actually looked at it and done absolutely nothing. You can now tell how many people have your listing in their shopping cart. So you can have all that data. So it can tell you more or less which one of your products is the one that has the better chances of making a sale. So you can now focus on that product to make some ad campaigns and to target your customers with that. Now you can also know that if you can also expand in that niche, if that is actually a good idea and you have good data. One of the problems that we have when we do royalty-based, like in Merch by Amazon, for example, is that we never know if a listing even was seen once. They never show you absolutely zero data. So a lot of people go like, I'm going to teach about keywords, how my keywords work and stuff like that. And I don't know what. Everybody who says that is entirely lying, because there is zero data to actually support, that the keyword worked, that the keyword was actually looked at. There is no data that supports, that your product has been clicked so many times. You don't know the conversion rate on a product. A conversion rate means that 100 people, how many people clicked it, right? So let's say that a product has 10% of the people who saw your listing clicked on it. That is a 10% click rate. But if only 3% of the people who click on it buy it, that is a 3% conversion rate. Now, you never know that with Amazon. You never get to see that on merch. So you don't never really know if your design is actually something that was good, was something that actually was, attractive to your customer. You never even know your keywords were actually on point, because you never know if that product was even shown at any time. Sometimes you wonder, like, my God, I've been selling this product in Redbubble, in Sasso, in TeePublic, anywhere else, but I cannot sell any merch. It makes you wonder, right? It's like, have they even showed this product? You never know. In Etsy, In Etsy, you can go and dig deep in every single one of your listings, and you can tell which listing has been seen. And it can even tell you what keyword. Sometimes, keyword is the one that is driving your traffic. So, for example, when you run an ad, and we're going to get into all this, explaining their own sections. Right now, I'm just talking about Etsy a little bit. When you get into the ads, we're going to go exactly to see which keyword is the one that is within our budget. And we can say, okay, this keyword drives a lot of traffic to us, but it's hitting our budget. So we need to remove that keyword for the time being and then bring another keyword, because also your product gets clicked and not bought, the more Etsy considers your listing as a useless product, and they're going to start showing it. So you don't want to waste the opportunity to be shown and not bought, right? So you want to increase the opportunity. So you have a keyword that is getting you a lot of clicks and is getting no sales. It's not serving any purpose. All it's doing is killing your listing for the long term. So that is what you got to be always paying attention to, your tags and your keywords. Say, okay, this is the one that is making me the sales. Double down on that one. Now you know which one is the one that is going to make you the sales, and now you know which one is killing your budgets, and now you know which one is the one that is killing your listing. It's about paying attention to all you're doing, and then you can drive more and more and more sales. After that, Etsy started developing more and more apps. Now we have integration with with QuickBooks in case you want to do some accounting and some data. To be honest, to understand the Etsy fees, it's way easier to connect it with QuickBooks, which is like $10 a month. I think no, $5 a month. I believe $5 a month for the first year if you use it, and then it's like $10 a month. It's like super cheap. But to keep an accounting from Etsy, it's like so easy to keep it with QuickBooks. It just like goes and completely uploads all your data, and you know, right? Um, you have many other integrations that you can do a lot of marketing, but we will talk about those when it comes. And we will talk about email marketing and all the stuff in the section that it goes. I don't want to start flying and get you, far, far away. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move into the next section. Etsy, it's a place where you just keep this in mind. In order to be in Etsy, you have to be a part of the process. Okay. So now there is a loophole where it says that your designer works for you. So your designer's work is part of your business. So therefore, you are compliant. But buying designs from a platform and using them as they come, technically speaking, it's a breach of the terms and conditions because you had nothing to do with it, with the production. You don't produce, you don't ship, you don't even design. You are completely out of the loophole. It's like you shouldn't be there. And that is why digital products actually qualify also for Etsy, because whoever designed the digital product can do. Whoever created the digital course can sell. It's like a bunch of different loopholes that you can be, but you or a member of your staff has to be a part of a production or at least one process in the business. And it doesn't include the creation of the listing because that is just labor work. So just keep that in mind that yes, there are companies like Pexels, for example, that I'm going to talk about them later, that you can buy the design, but they give you the editable file that you can modify. You were to download it as it is and list it on Etsy, and somebody complains that you are using the same design because a lot of people will probably using the same design. You say, well, Etsy, I actually have the rights to this design. It's going to be back and you said, hey, you're in a compliance. Now you download a Pexel design and you modify it to change colors, to change something, to make it change the font. Now it's a design of your own, modified by you, and now you are in compliance. So buying those designs from those guys who sells these bundles and stuff like that makes you be in non-compliance. But you're gonna see a lot of people selling Star Wars. You're gonna see a lot of people selling Disney. You're gonna see a lot of people selling etc. It is not allowed. Okay, if they are doing it, some of them probably have a deal with them. They have found some loophole that they can do. They have probably have some attorneys' advice, or they are flat out breaking the law. So not because they can do it means you can. Okay, so do not go selling Disney or Star Wars stuff like that. I have a couple of friends who have lost their account because selling Disney. Disney sells a lot, but they report you a lot as well. And it's not because Disney doesn't really care. Disney doesn't come for you, but Etsy doesn't want to deal with that. Somebody reports you, you are gone, unless you have proof that you can actually do it. So just keep that in mind. Don't go chasing waterfalls that because other people can do it, it doesn't mean you can, if that makes sense. Something to consider in Etsy is that Etsy is mostly female marketplace. Okay, mostly of the customers are females. And most of the customers are in their low middle class to low high class. So they tend to have money to spend. Okay, so they are not looking necessarily for bargains. They're looking for something that they like. Okay, so that's what they're willing to pay more in Etsy that they're willing to pay on Amazon. And it's something you have to keep in consideration. One thing you have to keep in consideration in your price on Etsy is that people in Etsy are used to bargaining. Okay, that was it was a marketplace like going to a trader village kind of deal, right? Where you go to a small shop and you could ask the seller, hey, will you give me a discount for this? Will you give me a better pricing for that? Do not be surprised if somebody actually messages you and asking you, hey, will you give me a discount for this? People are old school buyers in Etsy are used to doing that. And some of them will even go and say, hey, if I buy you X amount, will you give me a discount? Remember, in Etsy, we have a direct line of communication with our customers. So don't be expecting customers to reach you about a lot of questions about potential buying. Some of them going to ask you, would you, if I ask you, would you do this for every single one member of my family? I didn't the name to every single one of their shirts. They're willing to pay extra. Do not give it for free. Okay, so some people will pay $3 to $5 just to add a name to the back of their shirt. So it's something that if you had a time and you're willing to do, well, I want to show you how you can offer, that option. It's not something that I offer because I don't want to be dealing with, manual customization for anything. There is not really a tool. I know there are some tools of development. I know there are some tools in testing right now, but I haven't found one that actually works for me to say I'm going to recommend it or I want to use it. But customization in Etsy is people are always willing to pay extra for customization. So do not let it go for free. I mean, it's a way to make some money. And if you're willing to put extra work. Now, customization, for example, when we do Shine On for like engraving, it can be up to $10 to engrave something. China is going to charge you $5 to engrave. So make a profit out of that. Don't make it for free. Charge $5. I have seen listings on Etsy that people charge up to $15 for engraving. Just think about Things Remember at the mall. When you go to the mall, this place that is called Things Remember, the products are horrible. They're really ugly. They're not appealing. But what they have is something that no other product has, that they offer customization to the products and that they offer the engraving. People are willing to pay the little extra money, even if they don't like the product, if it is personalized. When a product can convey the right message, people are willing to pay more, even if they don't really like it, right? Because there's no other option sometimes, and it's what they want to do, especially for graduations. So just keep that in mind. Etsy offers a lot of different things you can do.